This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1762, The Triforce of Wealth by Craig Stevens of retirebeforedad.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Now let's get right to it and continue optimizing your life. The Triforce of Wealth by Craig Stevens of retirebeforedad.com. After 2 years of begging, I finally received a classic Nintendo NES game console from Santa in the 6th grade. One of the original video games for the system was the masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda. The Zelda franchise is an enduring global video game phenomenon enjoyed by gamers worldwide. To date, Nintendo has produced 18 titles in the series for its various consoles. A reoccurring storyline in the series revolves around the Triforce, which is made up of 3 singular golden triangles called the Triforce of Power, the Triforce of Wisdom, and the Triforce of Courage. The protagonist of the series, Link, goes on journeys to retrieve the pieces of the Triforce from various bad guys and hiding places, and goes on to save Princess Zelda. When all 3 pieces of the Triforce are combined, they create an inadvertent triangle in the middle. If an individual acquires all 3 pieces of the Triforce and assembles them, that person, good or evil, will be granted any wish they desire for the remainder of their life, so long as they keep all 3 Triforces together. The Triforce of Wealth. It's often said that building wealth is simple, but not easy. Most of us intuitively know and understand the keys to building wealth because they're simple, but we struggle to implement them in our lives. 3 singular Triforces must be assembled to create the Triforce of Wealth, if you will, to be truly wealthy. Earn more, the Triforce of Power. Spend less, the Triforce of Wisdom. And invest the surplus, the Triforce of Courage. No one Triforce is self-sustaining. Like a 3-legged stool, all 3 must remain intact to achieve financial wellness, happiness, and everlasting wealth. Earn more, the Triforce of Power. He or she who possesses the Triforce of Power, the ability to earn a high income, shall be granted an unlimited amount of mystical power. This holds true in society, as those with high incomes can purchase material objects that mystify their neighbors and colleagues. This power is unlimited for as long as the Triforce of Power remains in possession. But with great power comes great responsibility. Danger is possible if the Triforce of Power falls into the lap of evil. The Triforce of Power alone does not make the powerful complete. Spend less, the Triforce of Wisdom. He or she who possesses the Triforce of Wisdom, judicious frugality, is also granted special powers. These powers include the ability to see one's future of prosperity and mastery of using penetrating vision to identify the foolish spending behaviors of mortals. More importantly, those who have obtained the Triforce of Wisdom spend their gold on necessities and objects that bring them joy and camaraderie, not on articles and gadgetry meant to exhibit opulence. But the wisdom of eternal frugality alone is not enough to bestow wealth and happiness upon a worthy saver. Invest the surplus, the Triforce of Courage. He or she who possesses the Triforce of Courage to steadfastly invest undeterred by external forces displays confidence and unflappable persistence in times of prosperity and despair. They fear not fluctuations in economic conditions and never heed the advice of unproven philosophers or practice the witchcraft of deviance. Those who demonstrate acumen and sound judgment over long periods of time, even in the face of dragons and talking heads and bloggers, shall prevail. The unwise shall fail. But the Triforce of courage alone cannot satisfy the heartfelt intentions of pursuers of wealth. The assembled Triforce of wealth. Those who obtain all three Triforces will be granted as many wishes as they desire until they die, so long as they retain the assembled Triforce of wealth. The assembled Triforce of wealth requires balance and resistance to temptation. Those who overindulge the Triforce of power will forget the wisdom of frugality and become careless with their surplus. Over-reliance on the Triforce of wisdom may cause one to forget the importance of income and lead to uninspired courage when one should be investing with fortitude. And Triforce of courage may severely punish the arrogant and overconfident investor. It becomes weak when it lacks a sound foundation of income and cash flow fostered by the preceding two Triforces. It's the Zen-like balance of the assembled three Triforces which makes a man or woman truly wealthy by way of financial wellness, happiness and contentment, and the ability to bestow peace and good deeds upon others. Earn more, spend less, invest the surplus. Then rescue the princess. You just listened to the post titled The Triforce of Wealth by Craig Stevens of RetireBeforeDad.com. What a great analogy. Though I've never been one for video games, I thought this article was really fun. I think what makes these various forces even more powerful is the asset of time. The way you handle your money over time has a profound effect on your results on multiple levels. For instance, it takes time to increase your income. When you're first getting started in your career, time brings experience and enhanced skills that will allow you to earn more. But don't let the prospect of a higher income in the future distract you from proper money management today. This was my error in my 20s. I assumed I'd be making so much more money in the future that I could deal with my debt more easily later. But here's the thing, earning more is only one part of the equation. You don't all of a sudden learn money management skills when your income increases. Once I came to my senses, I found it helpful to front load my saving and investing efforts during a time when I made a six-figure salary. I invested 60% of my income for about 6 years, which led me to reach coast-fi status, meaning that I have enough in my retirement vehicles that it will grow to what I need in 30 years for traditional retirement. And I saved a healthy emergency/opportunity fund, which I define as 2 years of living expenses liquid. By front-loading my efforts for a certain period of time, I have the opportunity to relax a bit on saving and investing and explore other options that perhaps won't earn as much money. Similarly, with expenses, it can take time to build up your frugal muscles and make adjustments on the biggest areas of your budget, like your housing and transportation. If you can focus on 1% improvements every month, then over time, that can add up to a significant reduction in your spending. And of course, time when it comes to investing is a powerful builder of wealth due to the magic of compound interest. Time in the market is known to produce much better results than timing the market. So don't delay. Invest early and often. And that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you on the Thursday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.